Marzi.
Yes. Hi, Sunil. Hi, Saroj.
Hello,
Hi.
how are you?
How are you, Saroj?
Very well. I was just telling Sunilji it's very cold here.
Oh, very
Hi,
cold
Arash.
here. Why don't we swap? It's very hot here.
Come here. I'll be very happy to live in India during the winters of Switzerland. Yes.
Hi, Arash.
Hi everyone.
How are you?
Hello.
So today is a special session with Arash as head chef.
Who's going to make us some nice, healthy protein shakes?
I hope so.
Yeah. That'll be nice. That'll be nice. Looking forward to it. And
Sure.
this is
Mr.
something
Arash,
to blow it up to
do
everyone.
Mr.
Hi, Pari.
Arash, do I need to write the note? I need to write the recipe, or you'll send it to us?
Well, I don't think it would be much needed because you guys are much more expert and experienced than me. But I believe what we are doing, I mean, Sunil with his proposal of doing such thing was something more creative to come on the way. So this is just a kickstart.
Okay.
It's not, I'm not promising it's going to be perfect, but it would be something that, for example, we can learn also from one another, the different type of activities that we can do. We can learn something from you, whatever you can help us to know from the traditional Switzerland. Marzi, I know what he's going to show. He's going to show us the proper. It's okay. I'm not going to say. I'll let Marzi surprise us.
Okay.
And we have somebody already in the kitchen out there.
Oh, wow. Wonderful. Oh, my goodness. Oh, wow.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
I'm making cinnamon.
Hello.
I'm making cinnamon rolls.
You know, I love
Ooh.
cinnamon, and cinnamon technically is increase the metabolism. So
Yes.
whenever I go to any Starbucks or any kind of cafe place, I look at them like, can you put pinch of cinnamon? And they put little pinch. I'm like, little bit more.
I make my powder and I keep it. So every morning I have it with turmeric, and hot water.
It's you can add it to anything. Like technically saying it, I mean, Sunil is the best to know to give us the knowledge, but there is no overdose in cinnamon. That much I can tell you.
No. But cinnamon is also, you have to bear in mind, if you have it in excess, it's a heaty also. So you'll keep running to the bathroom after that. So you need to, yeah.
I mean, we get the heat usually by anything right these days. Banana, cinnamon. Marzi, help out.
Yes.
Sunil is right, because I also have this, if I have too much of cinnamon, it becomes very heaty in the body. And then especially during the lockdown, to get the heat out of the body is very difficult.
But Sunil, you look great. Today you look much more younger, and what's your secret?
Oh, sorry?
I am the secret.
Who's Sunil? Yeah. Sunil, yes. Sunil is evergreen. Yes.
Every day.
Now you see, keep changing the look, so people will find always a change in you always, so they don't get bored of you.
Well, that's one way of looking at it. We like it. Every week we like it.
That's lovely. So what are we going to do now, Arash? What do you have for us on a platter?
Well, it's simple. First thing is the protein shake. So I believe the protein shakes now, while we are doing it, also we can discuss about because most of the main common question that I get usually, it's when do we have it with milk, when water? Most common one. And obviously we would, simple fact, prefer the night for a milk because it's slow digested, and then they can help it in the night. morning, I mean, recently there was an article about it in the newspaper that Indians, we cannot take the morning milk from them. It became the culture things that you should have a glass of milk in the morning, which is not as a part of nutrition, but it has become the habit. But yeah, morning breakfast, when you wake up, I preferably like, instead of going for a simple glass of water, I like to start my morning breakfast with the protein shake. The first thing I like to do. So I'll go for my protein shakes, obviously with water. And because I want to feed myself with more of fiber, and consuming protein 3 times in a day minimum, for me, it's getting a little bit boring in the taste. So to make the taste a little bit more innovating for myself and more unique, each time I add it with different, let's say, fruits, which help me to stay there. So my morning fruit, of course, is going to be apple. So I'll chop the apples and to smaller pieces, put it in a blender, blend it a bit, add 1 scoop of protein to it, water on top of it, and then I'll blend it. So that's my morning protein shake. And then we do have the after workout or afternoon or evening, if you get into it. Then that time, instead of apple, which is high in fiber, I like to go with something heavier, which is banana. And obviously I do the same thing with my banana. Chop the banana, put it in there, same recipe, water, 1 scoop protein comes in there. Now, the
I would
time
like
is
to
there.
just a minute, Arush. I'll just for everybody to know also, when you talk of 1 scoop of protein, how many
Yes.
grams of protein are we talking of here?
Okay, so example I'm telling you now, every protein shakes, they have their own type of scoop. Yeah.
Yes.
But usually 1 scoop is like when it's full. So nothing on top of it, it's just a flat scoop always. And the flattest scoop comes around 20 to 30, depends on the company. But
Okay.
basically between 20 to 30 grams of protein.
Protein. That's exactly.
For
Okay.
example, the one which I'm using has it's clearly now I'm just giving the example. It's clearly mentioned per serving. It's giving us 32 grams of protein and some BCAA. So this is the type that I'm using, but most of the proteins, they have already mentioned what's happening into it. Now, obviously, as we mentioned, blender is the best way because it gives us a little bit foamy style. It makes it like a foamy, taste better and easier. But if it's late night and I want to go to sleep, and obviously I don't want to disturb the neighbors and stuff, so the regular shakers. If I use a shaker, there won't be any more of fruits because it will not be useful, and you should not do that as well. If there is a blender, obviously add whatever you want. Now, one of my favorite things to do in my protein shakes is adding coffee. Now, I would recommend you try it. Yes, I would recommend you. As a matter of fact, I don't use any brew coffee. I just use the instant coffee. Now, Nescafe is like one of my favorites so far as instant. So I just open one of the sachet, drop it in my protein shakes, and it gives that caffeine flavor to it, which makes it a bit more delicious. So those, especially who likes the caffeine cakes or cookies as well, they will love this thing. Now, to make it like a cold brew, we can add a scoop of, like not a scoop, like cubes of ice into it. And then it becomes like a cold coffee style. You feel like the blender is chilling out and it would be just sitting perfect.
That's good.
So now, without any further ado, I'll to make a protein shake. So option is on. We can go with either.
Yeah. While you're at it, I will give one more suggestion for the audience also. With the coffee, people who love coffee and they want to have a cold coffee or something, what you should do is you should have the black coffee made, right? And you put them in your ice jars. And those cubes, then you can just pop them into your this thing where as per your liking and as per the taste you want. So that will become cold. It'll become like a slush or a smoothie also if you want, and then you can really enjoy it.
Thank you so much. That is like the best way of doing it. As a matter of fact, more prepared way. That's how you are a more mature man, and I'm the youngest one. So we go for an easy way. You guys go for preparations from before and then how to. But yeah, that is the absolute correct way to make your coffee cubed ice and then drop those into it. So obviously you will have the better taste of it.
Exactly.
So, but that's not all of it. Good thing is we have cookies in the store as well. Yes.
That's nice.
So cookies are now, how do I show the cookies? Yes. So I have this type of electrical ovens, which.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. So I make this kind of chocolate cookies because chocolate is my weakness. Yeah, being on diet and everything, like I'm a very sweet person. I love sweet. One of the reason I learned baking is because every time I had a competition, I was going for a long terms of diet because I had to cut down my weight under 70, and for my body type, under 70 was very tough for my competition. And every time I was going, especially to Iran or visit anywhere, people were bringing sweets from all over the places and like, please. And I'm like, sorry, not happening. So I started asking for recipes and I started getting each and every person recipe. So whenever they were bringing me the offering, I was like, offering is good. Can I get a recipe as well? And they were like, yeah, but why? I said, because I cannot eat now. At least I can make it later for myself and then remember you guys and have it. So I started collecting recipes. So yes, for today's recipes of protein cookies also, I don't use flour. I don't use, because I have protein shakes. And luckily when you're sponsored, they're gonna give you so much of free proteins, which you end up not doing what to do with it. So you start becoming more creative and making more. Yeah. So I use my protein scoop, protein shakes as a flour. I don't know, add any more flour. And because I don't like sweets, but there should be a sweetness into it, I use honey instead of sugar, the regular honey. You can make it with eggs, without eggs, either way you want it. And what else we have? Yes, so those who do baking, they know vanilla is no harm. Yeah, we can add a little bit of it, only like 1 teaspoon maybe. And as I said, chocolate is my weakness, so a little bit of choco flavoring to it, and that depends on your protein. If you have the protein which has the chocolate flavor, then you don't need this. But my protein shake, luckily or unfortunately, as I said, when you're a sponsor, you don't get to choose. Yeah, mine is vanilla. So for vanilla, I had to add that to give that kind of chocolatey flavor into it. As I said, honey was the key. And of course, the baking powder. So the baking powder also do not put much, otherwise it will fast. I have done it many times. And I end up not having my cookies in the right way. So I don't add oil. I don't add butter. As I said, I try to make a protein cookies. The oil that I add, it would be only to kind of like make the whole plate, my plate, which I put the whole things inside of it, make it a bit more unsticky. So I can remove the cookies later. That's the only things that I add to it. And apart from that, nothing else.
Okay,
so I guess
that
that's
sounds nice.
my secrets. Also, almost sometimes it's needed milk. Yeah, not a very milky person myself. As a matter of fact, I don't use much of dairy stuff. Like the only time that I can feed myself with, let's say, curd, which I know yogurt is very healthy. It's very good. Like one of the diets, you can add curd to it. But the only time I can add it for myself, it's when I'm using muesli or granola. That's like one of my healthy meal that I can have. But basically, we should have it before 6 p.m., not after, because it's heavy in carbohydrate. But that's the only time that I can get Greek yogurt and then enjoy that for myself. But if you are a very dairy lover, then I would recommend you to chop some cucumbers and then put it inside that curd and then have that cucumber and the curd together. We use it, Mr. Merzi, we use it for a drinking pot as well when we are doing drinking. The same thing, it's called mazze in Persian. So that's a kind of plates that you get next to your drinks, and then you can have it with chips. Very yummy, very nice.
So when are we doing it?
Come again?
When are we doing it?
Yeah, after these sessions, because now what we'll do is, I believe Sony is trying to make us all fit. By the time that the quarantine is over, then when we meet, we become fat. So that's how we are balancing it. Yeah, so that's all about me. But if any other thing is there that you want to know, because most of my friends are asking always, what do I eat and how do I maintain my body if I'm not eating normal? What do I eat and how do I eat? So if you have any other question, I would love to share it. Please carry on. Because it's coming up, it's getting fully baked.
Is the oven?
It's an electrical oven.
Oh,
So
because it looked different for me, so I was wondering.
Well, I brought it from Iran. My mom just bought it because.
Okay.
So this is the oven.
Oh yeah, they have like these ovens over there. Yes.
This is
yes.
the
But now, Arash, this cookie looks more like a muffin.
Yes, it
Is
does.
It's a muffin, right?
Yes. I never liked the thin crust pizza as well. I always love the heavy one. So muffin is much better than cookies for me.
Okay.
I named them cookies not to feel guilty.
Okay, I'd like to add something here also, where you had mentioned in the starting with regards to having your protein powder with either with water or with milk. I'll relate this to one of I don't know if you will be aware of Rolly Winkler. He's always been in the top 5. I think so. Last year for the Mr. Olympia, he was the top 3 Mr. Olympias. Rolly Winkler.
Okay.
He comes from Curacao, where I am from. And fortunately, when I was during my stay in Curacao, I had the opportunity of exercising with him on several occasions. So I had asked him this question also at that point of time: which is good, water or milk? And his take was that it's always to have the protein shake. If you are looking for a good amount of protein intake, it is always good to have with milk, because milk also has protein inside. When you break down the milk, right, there is a process. From when you break down a milk, you have a lot of segments which come along, and a small segment which is also broken down is called whey protein from milk. So why should we deprive our body from that also? We are getting the calcium, we are getting whey also from it, we are getting the other nutrient value from the milk. So he said it's always good, if you want to enjoy your protein shake, have it with milk rather than water. Now, a lot of people tend to have it with water is because when they're in the gym and they cannot have it with the milk, so they tend to carry that water inside the sipper or the shaker, and that's how they have it. But if you have the opportunity, have it with milk. And if you're at home and you're going to be blending it and all that stuff, milk is the best option. But again, the milk should not be those. Sorry?
It will not delay the observation of the protein?
No, it will not.
Okay.
It will add to it. It will add to it.
Okay. Wonderful. Thank
you.
So
this is something where everybody should understand also. If you have the possibility of having your protein shake, have it with milk.
Nice. Now, recently I started getting crazy on my pizzas. I make like healthy pizzas now, and luckily I have the magic pan, which are both sided. And instead of making my own recipes, now everyone have their own recipes of topping of whatever they want to put. So instead of frying those, which obviously increase the nutrition fact, which I don't need it, that the calories just shoot up. So I use the tomato water when I green the tomatoes.
Yes.
Then it becomes cooked in that kind of saucy style that it gets. And then I can just flip the pan either one side, and it just helps me to make a multi-grain based protein of pizza.
That's good. That's also a very nice way of doing it.
These days, I mean, red meat was a little difficult, so I thought like the best way of red meat was to get myself a pizza because I'm a pizza lover. Yeah,
Yes.
I don't know how come I end up becoming an athlete because I'm very foodie. Like when I say very foodie, I'm very foodie. When I was a child, I used to finish the whole portion of sweets, especially Iranian sweets or Turkish, within one go. Like I would not even give it a 2 hours gap, just finish it. And somehow I end up.
Well, even I have a sweet tooth. Even I do have a sweet tooth, so I can finish. There was a time when I could finish a whole tumbler of ice cream, the whole slabs of chocolates, gone, and it's just gone,
Okay.
But it's okay. As long as we know how to burn it out, that is more important.
Certainly,
But I don't
agree.
have I don't have a sweet tooth, but I have sweet teeth.
You are a sweet person yourself, Marzi. You are an
Arish, thank you for that. But I tell you, this is my biggest problem. And you guys, you see, what you guys do is you guys burn it out. For me, the burning starts and ends only in my brains. So I have to sit down at one place and keep on doing my job. So that creates a problem. So eating sweets excessively creates a lot of problem for me. But I even now, what happens is, as Arish would say that, like, and Sunil, that I can, even after food, I can just finish a whole tumbler of ice cream or chocolates or whatever, you know. But I'm trying to control it now, but I'm just finding it very, very difficult. So is there any way, guys, to sort of, control this, especially after dinner?
I believe, Sunny, magnesium will help, isn't it? To
Sorry?
reduce the magnesium. I believe it helps with reducing the craving for chocolate and sweetness. Does it?
No, it doesn't. It has a certain chemical effect on your system, but that will not really affect as much. So magnesium as such will not really do that. What I would suggest is basically, if you have, like what I tend to do personally, I start my desserts before my meal.
Okay.
And that is, I find, is very beneficial and very helpful for the system rather than having it post a meal. You should start a sweet prior to your meal rather than having it towards the end, because then that helps to increase the appetite also, and it also helps in the proper absorption of the
How
food.
does it increase the appetite? Usually it's technically kill the appetite because you are
No,
already
you
getting
should
food.
no. That is where you have to not overdo it. Now, like I'll give you a very simple example. Like for me, I love cookies, right? But my cookies have to be cream cookies, which I love. So before my meal, every meal, I will search and I'll make it a point that I have only 3 cookies, 3 cream cookies nicely before my meal. If I have anything more than that, then yes, it will kill my appetite. But then only my 3. And if you have a glass of water after your cookies or anything sweet, you've killed your appetite there only. So coming to the point where Marzi, what you're saying is try this the other way around. You try to start with the sweet, and then you get onto the meal. So the urge to have something sweet post a meal might kind of lessen up, and you'll not feel so guilty also about it.
Yeah, what you're saying about the urge of having some sweet after the meal, that is, Merzi, you need to stop, control it. That is very dangerous. Even a guy like me who is careful, even I can get addicted to that, because that sweet after the meal, you feel like if you do not have that, your meal was the incomplete. And that is the biggest addiction, that it will make you just put on weight, and because you have already eaten enough of meal, you are already full. Whatever extra you put in yourself is going to be absolute extra calorie, which will become the fat. And that
Exactly.
sweet is going to boost in your the metabolism up, and then that's it. It goes in your blood system and just start becoming a fat. So yeah, you need to find a way to solution of that.
I have a question, two questions.
Yes.
May I?
Yes, please.
For the protein shake, you know, when you go and look on the website or in a shop, there's so many varieties: hemp protein, whey protein, non-fatty, or umpteen numbers. How does one choose what is suitable to you? And second question: if you don't take milk, can you replace it with almond milk or cashew milk or whatever, oat milk, rice milk, etc., etc.?
Okay, coming to the first aspect as to why do you need protein in the first place? Why do you need this protein shake? So that is
To
something
make the
which needs to be understood.
smoothie little bit body, to give the fruits and vegetables some body, I thought.
No, but do you understand that one thing is, have you heard of the concept of protein synthesis? Protein synthesis is something which is where your kidney is used. What is the function of a kidney? It clears off the waste, right? That is what your kidney is doing. And when we talk about protein synthesis, which has been done by the kidney, right? So that is what it is doing, is the excess of protein which is there, which we are consuming in forms of shakes and all that stuff, which our body does not require. So you are actually overburdening your kidney with that.
Okay, that's a
So
good
you
one
don't,
to start.
that is, yeah. So this is where one needs to really understand why is it that you're taking protein. Now, in
Okay.
the case of Arash, that's why I asked him earlier, what is the quantity of scoop which he's taking in that protein? How many grams is it? Because that is very important, that in a day, how many grams of protein are you going to consuming? So in the case of Arash, he's taking like minimum 3 times. So 3 times 30, that's like 90 grams of protein. So for a person like who is at a certain age and who does not do any kind of a training, you understand you are actually going to be putting a lot of strain on the kidney, and we don't want that.
Absolutely.
So you need to go for the natural form of proteins. Like I have already
Absolutely.
mentioned, eggs, chicken, all these are the natural forms of proteins. Even your beans, pulses, grains, these are where you can get your proteins. And
Okay.
almond milk is the best, which you can get, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cashew milk also, if it is there. So these are things where you can have.
Okay, thank you.
So avoid it as much as possible, because nowadays everybody wants to go on, okay, I'm taking this protein shake and that. And protein shakes also, there are 3 different categories. One is an ISO pure, the other one is a whey, and then you have the protein synthesis. So in formation wise, I would say ISO pure. Why is it called pure? Is because it's really the purest form of protein where it does not sit much into your system. Then you have the whey, which comes from the milk. Then you have the protein synthesis, which is basically is a chemically processed made protein for the system. So
Sorry,
if you want
what was sorry, Sunilji, I didn't get the third one. Protein Pro,
synthesis
ISO Pro.
chemically is more on chemical side compared to whey and ISO.
Got it.
So if I have to say a regular protein shake, which is not ISO or which is not whey, will be very heavy onto your system, onto your kidney, for it to digest.
And what's a hemp protein?
It is also one of the other,
HEMK.
yes, it is also one of the newest forms of protein which has come along, but it is not really available in the market as yet, and not yet been marketed so much. So it is still yet to be out. But again, the credibility of a hemp is still to be established because it's new in the market.
But in Europe and in England, we get it everywhere, the hemp
Yes,
protein.
that is true. But in the US, they still don't have that much of that one. They are more going towards the ISO and the whey.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Speaking of protein, let me show you my collection.
Oh, wow. Ooh la la.
So you see, those are all the ways he has. So here in Asia, they work mostly with the whey.
And it's more pocket friendly, speaking of.
Yes. That is also a big factor.
Isolate is double times more expensive than whey.
And how long can you keep the shake once you made it? Let's say you made it at 8 a.m. and then how long would you suggest it should be kept where the nutrients are valid?
It's not really,
No?
see, if you're making a protein shake out of those mixes, right? So it depends if you're going to put it in milk. If you're going to make it in milk, then yeah, you need to refrigerate it and then you can have it after a couple of hours also. That's not really a problem. If you're keeping it in water, still you can have it for a little bit longer period of time. And you can have it during the day itself. That's not really an issue as long as it is kept in a cooler environment. For milk,
And
yes, the
probably
consumption time is less.
and probably used up within 24 hours or 12 hours, right?
12 hours, yes, not 24 hours.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Arish, what time do you have your meal, your dinner?
Never after 9. If it's after 9, I'd rather starve myself.
Yeah.
I mean, starving
Okay.
is a good way of starving. So when I say starving, obviously according to my body weight, but if I feel like I can manage with the scoop of protein and the milk, I will do that. If I feel over hungry and I really need to feed myself something, the healthiest fat that I like obviously is cheese, the plain cheese. So just the plain cheese, not overloaded, with one multigrain bread, which will help me sleep full night. So that's depending on how hungry I would be. But if basically I try not to eat and drink, I drink lots of water, force myself with it, and that's the only way I can keep myself in shape. Otherwise, eating in the night, no matter who you are, what you are, you will put on weight. Simple as it is. So you need to.
So how do you manage? So what you're saying is that after 9 you don't eat at all.
Yeah. And morning when I wake up, as I explained, the first thing I do, I take my protein shake just for recovery. So what I say, this is not a way. I know because I know you. That's why I'm explaining this to you. This is not a way. No, Sonny knows better to build the body. No, bodybuilders they wake up 4 a.m. They eat. They go to sleep. They wake up 6 a.m. They eat. That's different style. But knowing you, knowing me, how we are going to achieve. No, I rather have my 6 packs than big body. No, I don't want a big body. I'm very happy with my 6 packs.
So then what time do you sleep, Arish?
By 12, you need to be forced asleep. No matter what, you need to be asleep. You need to be deep asleep, as a matter of fact. So they say 11, and that's only because of the HGH, the growth hormone that we have in our body. It's been proven by science that it will be produced in our body between 11:30 to 1:30, like that 2 hours of gap that we'll get, which is going to be the best time to be asleep to observe so much of it. If I'm wrong, Sunil, correct me, please.
No. What you're saying is right, but I will add something to that also. But Marcy, yes, please.
So how do you then, Arish, then how do you manage all your parties every day?
So I do, I'm a not night person, I'm a morning person.
Okay.
Yeah, so I like my parties to happen in the morning. But yeah, everywhere, wherever I am, 12, before 12, I have to say, guys, I need to leave. And that's it. I'll be out and I come out. Yeah.
Okay,
Just to remind you, you came to my house at 1:30 in the morning, huh?
So remember the balancing we spoke? This is a balancing. You know, why do you think we want to have 7 days a week? We have only 5 days week and 2 days weekend. God knew
Right.
these things gonna need that changes. That's once in a week or once in a month, So that's why we have end of the month and the beginning of the month. Otherwise, the days would have gone from 1 to 365. Well, why did it become like 1 to 30? And then, there is this balancing that we do need. So I do all the dieting just for that night when I see you.
Oh, I'm honored. I'm honored.
That's
My
nice.
cookies are ready, by the way, also.
Oh,
The
lovely,
muffins.
lovely, lovely.
So it
That
became like
that
this.
really looks good. So you're already enjoying. That's nice. Now, coming to the aspect where the sleep, where you had mentioned, Marzi, you had spoken to Arish about the sleep factor. There is also one scientifically proven fact which we need to understand very clearly why they say early to bed and early to rise is actually scientifically also proven. They say if you sleep, say around 9:30, 10, right? So from there, from that time of 10 to 12, right? You are talking of 2 hours, but that if you sleep at 10, each hour is equivalent to 2 hours of sleep. And post 12, if you sleep, that 1 hour. So if I sleep, say from 12 to 5, you would say I would slept for 5 hours, but that 5 hours is not really 5 hours. It is very less because the REM, your rapid eye movement, basically that we talk about during the sleep time that is there, is very less during that time. Like when Arash also mentioned that we have that the growth hormones are working at that point of time, up to the time of 1:30, but it is not from 12, but it's supposed to start say by 10. So 10 to 12 is equivalent to your 4 hours, not 2 hours then. So that's when they say early to bed to early to rise, especially for children.
Thank you.
My God, from that point of view, my life is completely screwed up here in the sense that, like, I I come home from office at about 10 o'clock, uh, eat at 11:30, sleep at 2 o'clock. so,
Wow.
so I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know what I'm doing. So maybe
No,
I'll.
you're good. You're good. Just you need to know, Marze, unfortunately, that kind of lifestyle will not be. See, it's a simple fact. It's like there was a time, I'll give you a small example before I come back. There was a time, I'm a footballer. I love football and I like bodybuilding too. So my brother once told me, brother, although both are sports, but they don't go together along. You need to choose one and another. It doesn't work that way. So he gave me the clarity. Now I'm giving you the clarity too. It's your work. It's important. But this type of work, I'm talking about not a kind of work, the timing of around the work. And being fit and healthy, they do not go together. So you need to maintain the balance somehow in middle, especially if you notice people who are working in the night shift, they are either too skinny or too overweighted. They cannot be fit, unfortunately. It's not happening because we are not made for that. No matter if you tell them that they sleep 13 hours in the daytime, as Sunil mentioned, that 13 hours is not equal to 4 hours of deep sleep which you might get in the night. So even you need to figure it out, mate.
No, I know. And, I've always been telling Sunil that, I need to, at least now, from now on, I mean, whatever has happened in the past has happened, but I need to have, some strict consultants uh, to whom I should be consulting for this, because this will just go out of hand, because
Exactly.
because I am now 62, so so it's not
Well, touch wood, you
it
don't look
can't
like.
go on like uh, well, maybe that is because of my eating at 12 o'clock in the night.
If it's only eating, no, you're lying.
Yeah. Well, what you are thinking, Arish, if that was happening, I would look much better.
Okay. Then you're absolutely correct. Yes.
No, but the
So
one thing is
yeah, no,
there,
no.
as we age, our metabolism is not increasing, but it is going in a regression. So we need to understand that. And also, yes, work is important in today's times. We cannot say no to work and head to the gym and all that stuff. If a client is there or something, we need to be attending to it. We have a project, we need to finish it in that deadline. But then at the end of the day, we need to, at a certain point of time, tell ourselves we need to create a certain balance. If not during the night time, okay, we're having the late nights and everything is there, but then during the day try to make it up with some walks or some, try to go to the gym if it is possible during the day, or do some kind of some activity around, which will kind of give some movement to your body.
Sunil, I like to ask a question. You spoke about the metabolism. Now,
Yes.
luckily, among the many of my friends or people that I have seen, I am blessed with a very high metabolism,
Oh,
like
very good.
very high. I'm the kind of person that I take a small sip of coffee and I sit and I start sweating. And I'm glad. I love it. Like when I'm in the gym, people, they see me, they feel like I've showered, because when I do high intensity cardio, I will be fully shiny and very good. So I'm happy with that. That's why I can, for every shoot, every movie that I have, I can easily transform myself within 4 or
Exactly.
5 days.
Yes,
Yeah. But
that's good.
then now, now that we are speaking about the little bit elder age, like middle age, metabolism will drop after 40, if I'm not mistaken, or 35.
After 30,
Uh,
it starts to slow down
30.
after 30.
Okay, so after 30 it's not drop. Now we know that with regular exercise we can maintain it little bit. What are the other ways apart from the a specific nutrition that we can do? Now caffeine, do we know? Coffee. What else?
See, there is no other way to this basically. When your metabolism, your body clock, once it starts to go in the regression, when it starts to go the reverse way, right? Instead of going the progressive, it starts to go the backward way. You cannot do anything to stop it. What you can do is you can help to either maintain it. When you say maintain it, either plateau it. You cannot increase it, you cannot drop it. You can increase it only with steroids and anything that you can have that thing going along, but we don't want that. We want to have it in a more natural way. So the natural way is you need to keep maintaining, keeping your exercises going on and all that stuff. And you need to understand where, if you were young, when you were in your 20s, what a 2 hour training you could do, you could get a good pump. And post 30, when you touch 40, that kind of 2 hour training, you are not getting the same pump, right? That is always a thing. So we need to, first of all, for such kind of a thing, is the mindset of the person. You need to tell yourself that, okay, this is what it is. And you have to just go along and moving and pushing with it. Coming to your aspect of what to take and what not to do in order to keep that thing going along, again, I will repeat the same thing is your exercise regime has to be, you need to be disciplined with your exercise. So if you have when you maintain a discipline that every morning I'm going or every evening I'm going, make sure you have the discipline. So whether it be in exercising or whether it be bicycling, whether it be swimming or whether it be a jog, make sure you have that discipline in you. Get that body clock ready that every morning at say 5:36 I'm going for my swim, or I'm going for my jog, or I'm going to go to the gym for a couple of hours. So that discipline, once you maintain, right, that will help to plateau out your metabolism. One. Secondly is the stress. Biggest factor of anything is the stress. So no matter whatever you do, even if you're exercising best, you're eating the best, but the stress from inside is going to kill everything. So you need to avoid that. And many a times it is very difficult. It's like this. It's easier said than done. Like Marzi is working so many hours. They have a lot of stress in their work and all that stuff. but then we need to come to a certain way where we can learn to, cut ourselves at least from the 24 hours, right? Give at least cut yourself for at least half an hour, I say, say 15 to 30 minutes if you can cut yourself out and just give it like a me time, right? Where you can just sit, look into yourself, introspect, or maybe just stare at a wall. Just think, let it absorb within you. So this is a kind of a form of a meditation, I say, which everybody should need to do right now. So this will also help to maintain your metabolism and all. So you don't need any kind of a coffee or anything. Like, have you heard of Tai Chi?
Tai Chi, the movement.
Yes, that's a slow movement. So these movements are actually taken from all the animals, the vultures, the falcons, and all that stuff. It's a very old Japanese tradition, right? So I have seen people when they are, especially if for a competition or when they are in the, in the movie lines. Now you see, I shouldn't be saying this, but I'm going to say this right now. Why do you think there is so much of drugs being used in the film industry? Because when you take that, they have those odd hours of shoots. At 3 o'clock, they have to be looking fresh in front of the camera. So that is what coffee will not going to help them. Red Bull is not going to help them. They need something more than that. And that is where the drugs come along, right? But coming to the point of Tai Chi, Tai Chi is the best form where you don't need any kind of a drug. There are movements if you feel sleepy. There are certain movements which you need to master and you'll be wide awake, believe me. There are certain movements you do which will help you to come out of that stress. So like if Marzi is there and he is right now at 2 in the morning and he's being stressed out completely, there are certain movements in Tai Chi which you can do which will help you to calm down and then you can have a good night's sleep.
Thank you.
So Tai Chi is something where we need to have a very good master. I did Tai Chi, but I did a Tai Chi course for like at least a couple of months. So I've kind of forgotten that. It's been like around 20 odd years back I had done that. And personally speaking, yes, I have seen that effect, which Tai Chi can do. Only those movements. You are kind of creating that kind of an aura around you with that movement. I don't know the scientific how it works with that, but it is beautiful.
Even I had a friend from China and he knew Tai Chi. So during the time he was in India, it was only 45 days. I started working with him on little bit Tai Chi. For me was just to bring the whole phase of fighting into my body style. So I could move the energy around me and then get back to opponent. So it helped a lot. I used a couple of the sessions in the movies, advertising, and they loved it. It's nice. But yeah, I will get to it. Thank you for reminding me that how important it is to do that in the morning. Unfortunately, because of the quarantine, now it became somehow that you don't have motivation to get up in the morning early, unless there is a urgent work, because you have the whole day. So now this hopefully can help me to be my new motivation from today onwards.
Exactly. So what time, Arish, what time do you wake up in the morning?
Well, because I need more recovery, so I don't, and most of my clients that I train are from afternoon time. So my morning is absolutely mine. So I can do computer work on my online coaching, or I can just rest it out. So I rather wake up at 7 or 8, have a protein shake, be in the bed, walk around, and then again by 10 o'clock, I'll be up and functional, I can say.
Okay.
And also Qigong, and trance meditation helps, right?
Yes. Qigong, I'm not really much about. Trance meditation, yes, it does. Trance meditation, but then it's basically just to calm the nerves down. But when we speak about Tai Chi, it's a completely different ball game. It's not only to calm your nerves, but it can also, boost up your metabolism. You're feeling down, it'll really get you out of it. If you're feeling depressed, they have movements also. If you feel like, depression setting onto you, Tai Chi will help you come out of it. But only thing is you need to have a good master who can come and teach you that.
Yeah. Not to learn from YouTube.
No, it is not going to help you because Tai Chi is the movements have to be really monitored by a master. And when the movements, the breathing is of utmost importance.
Okay. Okay.
And this YouTube will not be able to check or correct you on that. So don't be a YouTube learner or anything itself, because nowadays everybody, it's like really really funny. Even I don't know if Arash will also see this. I see a lot of guys, who see on YouTube big bodybuilders training, right? And they are doing certain movements, right? And when I come and I see them in the gym, they're doing the same movements as big bodybuilders. Like a very simple example I'll give you. The other day I saw one guy. He was doing his like half bicep curls, and lanky fellow. Okay, I said, why are you doing half? Do you know what is the meaning of doing half? No, I saw it on YouTube. I saw Phil Heath, he was doing half. I said, you dumb fella. That he was not doing half, he was doing full, but you looked half because his arm size is 22 inches. So he cannot go more than that. So his movement is limited. So these are the YouTube learners who think that they are like YouTube bodybuilders. Let me put it that way, it makes you laugh. So,
Okay.
For Tai Chi, you need to have a master.
Yeah,
but I tell you,
small article regarding that once everything is available online, why do you really need a personal trainer? So simple question. And I started my article like the same way. That obviously you do need it because there are n number of exercises out there which you don't know which one is for your body type. Having a personal trainer means a person who would test your body, understand your body, and see what are the exercises actually better for you. It's like having a whole drugstore and not a druggist, and then you don't know what to do. So you go there and start taking all the pills for any sickness. How does it work?
Very true. Very true.
No, but in all this, in all this that we are talking about, Arish and Sunil, Saroj, I mean, I have come to conclusion that yes, there's this physical, um, this physical part of exercising, etc., is very, very important. But I tell you, it is so very important to have a controlled mind. And you see, if you have a wandering mind, and if you are all the time in a different zone in terms of how you want to live your life, and you get bogged down by your insecurity. You see, day in and day out, you see, as a lawyer, what do? As a lawyer, I am actually attending to different types of people, isn't it? And when I see as to how human beings react, as to what human beings expect from one another in relationships, that is the time when the mind goes completely awry in terms of all this. And therefore, instead of then concentrating on the physical part of the body, etc., a person like me would tend to seek a little solace in sort of deep diving into my work, and then forgetting about rest of these emotional things. Why?
Not only you as the person who works, I mean, the legal part, now let's say, you are not going through it. Look at also the athletes. You think if any athlete, small example myself, if mentally I'm not fit, do you think I can get up and do training? No, I rather skip the day. If the mind is not in there, rest of the exercise, whatever you do, is just means nothing. So you rather just sit and don't do anything. So, and problem is,
but Arish, my point is, are you mentally fit in this kind of a society, in this kind of an environment of?
It has up and down, Mercy. It's never the flat. It's never the flat. It always has up and down. There are days that you are feeling energetic. You will lift 200 kilos, and there are days that you are not going to lift even 2 kilos from here to there. You don't want to touch it, and it's fine. You need to understand that's the nature of it. So it's like how we say, enjoy your cheat and don't feel guilt about it. That's the same thing. Enjoy your day off and don't feel guilt about it. just think of it as recovery. But problem is, you should not get used to it. If you get used to that, that is a problem now. Laziness, being a couch potato. The moment you get used to that zone, you are a bit falling off from the train, so you need to get back on the train again. And everybody have their own ways of getting back on the train. Some people need outdoor motivation, some people need partner motivation, everybody has a dig. But Sunil might help us more in this matter, because his knowledge of more of steroids and the things that athletes do take. Now, I have experienced it once. Merzi, when you are on a normal situation, your testosterone and your hormones in your body are normal, you still feel like a roller coaster up and down. The moment you start interfering with your hormones from inside by adding any additional hormones from outside, that is the time you are in trouble, because it just shoot up and down, you don't know what's happening. You become so moody, you don't know what you're doing. And if you're doing it, for how long you're doing it, for a minute you can switch. So yes, how to maintain that, that's a different story. You need a lifetime experience for that, I believe.
No, you don't need that.
I thought honestly, honestly,
yes.
though, I'm looking out for on the physical part. There is of course there's Sunil to guide me. You are there, Arish, but I'm honestly looking out for a kind of a person who can sort of give me some kind of mental solace. Why I thought was I would bring this topic up with this topic that we were discussing today, is that the two of these factors are so very well linked. It's so very well connected.
Yes.
That if your physical body, I see lots of people with very good physical bodies, but that doesn't mean that the body is a happy body. It's not a very happy body. It could be a sad body. That's because of the mind, because of how we deal with people. So anyway, so this discussion for a later time, but it's very, very important.
Yes, that's true. Okay. So thank you, Arash, for those good share of your protein shake and your protein muffin cookie, or cookie muffin, whatever you want to call it. Also, I would also do one thing. I'll have Pari also send you a few of the granola bars that she makes, which is completely healthy.
Oh yes, please.
Oh yes, please.
Yeah. So
see, Arish, now you're not my friend. If you're showing this to me again and again, you're not my friend.
It's protein based. We can have it. Don't worry. I'm gonna break it for you.
He's a chef who makes it and who eats it also at the same time.
This is called virtual friendship. I eat for you.
Please do, and really enjoy it. So let's have the next session. I'll keep you all updated on that. Yes. Thanks, you very
guys.
much.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thanks for your time, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye, Saroj. Bye, Arish. Bye, Pari.
Have
bye.
a nice
Bye,
Sunday. Have a nice Sunday.
Oh, our Sunday is over.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye. Okay, everybody. See you then.